Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Virtual College Exploration for All Ohio Students, sponsored by the Ohio Association for College Admission Counseling and StriveScan. Thank you so much for joining us today. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. As attendees, you can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Your camera and your microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. That being said, the only way to get your questions asked and answered is through that Q&A button. This is just one of many different sessions happening, so be sure to check out the full schedule at oacac.org. And this presentation is being recorded and will be made available within about a week at that same website, oacac.org. I'd now like to turn it over to our presenters.
Good evening. It's great to be here tonight. Thanks for joining us. And my name is Linda Hoffman. I serve at Malone University as Director of Admissions, and it's great to be here with you tonight. So just give me a second as I share my screen and we can get started. Oh, and I think I need to stop once again. Hit the wrong button there. Let me try that one more time. Okay, we're good. Okay, so hopefully everybody can see my screen, and you should see a bright red and blue Malone University logo and welcoming, mentoring, serving. And what we are about, we like to use those three words here at Malone: welcoming, mentoring, and serving. And I'll talk a little bit about those throughout our time together tonight. And also wanted to push to actually spend a little bit of time specifically about extracurriculars and balancing life as a college student and life outside of the classroom with regards to extracurricular activities. So we'll spend a little bit of time on that as well. So let's get started. Welcoming, mentoring, and serving. There we go. Again, my name is Linda Hoffman. My email address is there, and you are welcome to reach out to me at any time. Feel free. And again, the Q&A, certainly you can ask as well. A video I wanted to share with you just to kind of kick us off, and it's talking about the welcoming portion of those three words: welcoming, mentoring, and serving. So bear with me for just a couple minutes here as I share a kind of an opening video with you all.
When you visit our campus as a prospective student, whether you know anyone here or not, you'll notice that our community will greet you warmly. We want you to know that our smiles and kind words come from a deep and shared sense of who we are. God calls us to lovingly walk alongside the wide range of people that make up our community, no matter who you are, what you think, and where you come from. We embrace you as a seeker of both a career and of difficult questions that don't have simple answers. Whoever you are, come to Malone and experience our discipleship model of education, where devoted Christian professors, coaches, and staff help you to discover and become the person you are meant to be. We are a campus dedicated to learning about and living out Christ's kingdom first. We invite you into our community to dialogue and to more deeply understand a wide range of perspectives, cultures, experiences, and beliefs. Our student community includes a variety of people, from committed Christians to skeptics and unbelievers, from those who excel in school to those who struggle, and from those who know about higher education to those who experience it for the very first time. Reflecting the hospitality of Christ's kingdom, Malone excels at equipping you to serve your community, church, and the world. No matter who you are welcome here.
Well, felt like that would be a good way to kick us our time off together, and just identifying us as to who we are. We are a Christian university. We do welcome you regardless of where you are from, where you are in your faith journey, where you are in your academic pursuits. You are welcome here as a student, and look forward to working with many of you, I hope. What makes a Malone education distinctive? Let's find out together. 90% of our graduates are employed or in graduate school within 6 months of graduating. So our outcomes speak pretty loudly for themselves. 82% of those graduates are working or studying in a field of their choice. So if they're graduating in nursing, they're working in the field of nursing. Or if they're graduating with a social work degree, they're working in the social work field. We offer about 50 majors and minors, and I'll say pre-professional programs, including pre-law and pre-dental, pre-med, that sort of thing too. So if you are coming in at this point thinking you are going to be majoring in criminal restorative justice, and you wake up tomorrow with a new interest in creative writing, we can help you out. So, and consider yourself very normal if you fluctuate between one day thinking one thing and the next thinking another. As a high school student, you have time, and even in college, as long as you choose identify your major and your area of interest by your sophomore year, you're in pretty good shape. So even that very first year of college, you have some time. But all that to say, our students who graduate from Malone, they do very well in the workplace, and it certainly depends from field to field, but our graduates do get jobs. Community. If I had a group of students here tonight to talk with you, they would probably without question say one of the things that they love about Malone is the community. Every student has a place where they belong. One-on-one mentoring. So we're getting into the welcoming mentoring a little bit with that. With faculty. So one-on-one mentoring, you'll have an advisor, but it goes beyond just your advisor. It's whoever your professors are will be working with you one-on-one, smaller classes. You're not a number here at Malone. Opportunities for involvement. We talk a lot about the community just in that whether it's a sporting event or a music event or whatever you are involved with on campus, that you will then in turn find in the audience or out on the bleachers, probably a couple of your professors and maybe even a couple of staff members that you've interacted with. So it's very much students involved with the lives of their faculty and faculty involved in the lives of their students. And I would also go out and say even staff involved in the lives of our students too. Here's another video that I wanted to share with you. One of the things that we are proud of is our location, and that's Canton, Ohio, just in the northeast quadrant of Ohio. And there's a couple of things that we are most noted for, one of which is this is the home of the Football Hall of Fame, and the other is that President McKinley's library is here and museum is here in Canton. So I want to take just a minute and share with you our location video.
When selecting a university, location is important. At Malone University, we think you'll be amazed at all that Northeast Ohio has to offer. You'll find us in the heart of Canton, home of the Professional Football Hall of Fame. In fact, Malone is central to an area that also includes professional baseball, hockey, basketball, and soccer. But Canton is so much more than professional sports. We've got a vibrant arts district, complete with symphony, ballet, national museums, including a presidential library, a classic car museum, numerous art galleries, theater, shops, and restaurants, all within a few short minutes from campus. If you prefer the outdoors, Northeast Ohio's National Park System has plenty of connecting trails, perfect for hiking, running, or biking. We're also home to dozens of golf courses, one reason we're known as America's playing field. Just a short drive, and you'll find yourself in the metropolitan areas of Akron and Cleveland. Here, you can enjoy world-class entertainment, beginning with the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame or Blossom Music Center. Our unique location makes for ideal student experiences. Whether you're interested in working with animals at the Akron or Cleveland zoos, or taking advantage of amazing internships with any of our regional corporations, hospitals, schools, organizations, or churches. But you don't have to leave campus to have fun. We're also famous for our annual air band and lip sync competition, complete with costumes, choreography, and serious lip syncing skills. The annual Davenport Derby, a tradition that dates back to the 1950s, features teams racing couches on wheels. Maybe you'd rather hang out with friends in our student center that got its start as a real barn, or dine on some of the best cooking you'll find on any college campus anywhere. Really, we've won awards. That's why, on campus or beyond, at Malone University, you get the best of both worlds.
It really is a great place to be a college student. We are, as the video said, very near Cleveland, really close to Akron, and Canton has quite a bit to offer you too. And even outside of just the social aspects and shopping and movies, internships, student teaching, nursing, clinicals, all of that, all within a stone's throw of our campus. Best of both worlds, we are in the metropolitan area of Canton. Not a huge city, but a nice sized city. and yet within 10 minutes you can be in cornfields if you like the great outdoors and the wide open spaces. So kind of the best of both worlds. So come visit us, check out Canton for yourself, and obviously check out Malone. So clubs and organization, regardless of your major, you will have the opportunity to get involved outside the classroom in things like intramurals, certainly athletics in general, fine arts, competitive clubs, sorry about that, and student government and other academic organizations. One of the things I always like to say to students is, especially who are entering as incoming freshmen, is get involved. Don't overdo it, but find at least one thing that you are interested in getting involved in. Maybe it's something that you did all throughout high school and you want to carry it on in college. Maybe it's something you've never tried, but you've been interested in it. So I'm just going to touch base on a couple of these. We have certainly musical ensembles, our music ensembles. This is a picture of our chorale. We also have a marching band, and we have a wind ensemble. There's also quite a few smaller ensembles, a jazz ensemble. There's a smaller chamber choir. So a lot of music opportunities. If you have a love of music but aren't necessarily planning on studying music in college but want to keep involved, definitely do that. It's a great way to kind of just get some stress out and enjoy something that you really love. Certainly music majors, it's a requirement for you to be involved, but you will find it a joy to be involved in a music ensemble here. We have a number of different clubs. One is we have a group called Enactus, which is a business program, which you do not need to be majoring in business to get involved with, but get involved if you're interested in business type of things and starting up a business and helping people who need a business sense. They reach out into the community and do a lot of public assistance, whether it's during tax season or whether it's a cross-cultural thing and starting a business in a third world country, a lot of different things like that. Student government is certainly something to be involved with. We have, as part of our student government program, we have student activities councils. Those are students who get involved with making activities on campus and running them and coordinating them. And then certainly just the student government, the freshman class president, treasurer, that sort of thing, and working with the administration here at Malone in helping communicate what the students' needs and interests are to faculty, staff, and administration. A lot of service opportunities. So if you have a heart to serve, Malone is a great place for you to be. As a Christian university, that's one of the things that we value. Welcoming, mentoring, and serving. If you remember, that third piece is a big part of what you will do here as a student. Required to some degree as part of your 4 years, but we hope students do far more than what's being asked of them and just love the opportunity to serve others on campus, in the community, in the country, and actually we have opportunities in service learning projects and mission trips around the world. We did mention, you may have seen the allusion or the reference to our lip sync competition, which is up here in the corner here, which is a lot of fun, one of my favorite events, and it is completely impressive. The Davenport Derby is another thing that's a lot of fun to go to. It's a little scary watching students racing couches, but very entertaining. So get involved. Again, at least one activity, even if you're a student athlete, find one activity outside of athletics to get involved with. And we'll talk a little bit more about athletics here in a minute. Davenport Derby, to give you a visual in real life. It is intense. This one's not too decorated, but you can see this looks like our men's cross country team, which has an entry every year. And typically there's a theme. There's actually a prize for the theme that they have. It's $75 for the best themed sofa or couch, which is also a Davenport. And then there's a prize for the winning couch for the men's team and or for the women's team. So they have two heats. I think that's $200 gift card for pizza. So it's competitive, it's intense, and it's very entertaining. So a lot of fun. It's just across a big parking lot behind our dining commons. You can see a number of just student activities here. I believe this is actually the lower center photo here is again of our lip sync competition. And we have a camp nearby that we have students do kind of leadership training and trust sort of activities at Camp Gideon every year as well. So, and this looks like it's a touch football. So that would be an intramural team. So if you have an interest in athletics but don't want the commitment of a varsity sport, there are quite a few intramural programs, flag football, ultimate frisbee, frisbee golf. If you have an interest, they will find it. We've had chess. There's been a number of different varieties over the years of activities. And then traveling, certainly, getting involved in going to, like I said, the study abroad. Some of them are overseas. Some of them are study away programs where you can spend a week, maybe in a city, working with Habitat for Humanity is another option. Our athletic program. I want to spend just a few minutes for those of you who are maybe interested in college athletics. Big commitment for sure, but payoff is big too, as far as just the impact that it will have on you as an individual in life. So we have as a Christian college, we talk about Christ-centered, athletic, focused, coach-driven. We have a number of, let me go back here a little bit. Oops. Well, we have a number of athletic programs that are available to you. And those would be, we have varsity sports in basketball for men and women. We have cross country for men and women, track and field for men and women, volleyball for women, baseball for men, softball for women, women and men's diving and swimming, soccer for men and women. We also have, and I'll throw this out, I should mention it earlier, we have rugby as a club sport as well. So we also have some club sports that if you're interested, it's competitive with other schools, but not quite the commitment of a varsity sport. But athletics is a great way to get involved. And I will say, as one who did this during my college years, I was a very good spectator. So while I was not a student athlete, I enjoyed going to see my friends compete in whatever it was sport that they were involved with. So even if you're here not as a student athlete, get involved in student athletics, because it really is a great way just to be engaged in the community, support your friends. And if you are, know that the commitment is significant. There's a lot of practice that goes into being a varsity athlete. There's a lot of training. There's a lot of just time on the road, but it is great bonding time. Coaches are fantastic here at Malone. We do, as an NCAA institution, we're Division II, and we do offer athletic scholarships. Not every student athlete gets a scholarship. A number of them do, and a number of them don't. But that would be something you would want to talk with our coaches about, what's available for you, if anything. But regardless of whether there is scholarship, if you have an interest in a sport, go for it. Certain sports have plenty of roster space for students, even if they're not at the top of their sports. Others are pretty competitive to gain a spot on the team. But talk to the coach. In the admissions office here at Malone, we actually have an admissions counselor who works specifically with our student athletes. His name is Dan Carmody. So if you are interested in getting involved in varsity athletics at Malone, please do reach out to the admissions office, speak with Dan. He can make connections for you with the coach and kind of go along the way. Also on our website, you can actually fill out a recruitment form, and that will go directly to our coaches to help you make some connections there. So we would encourage you to do that and get your college athletic career moving forward. Faith. I started off by saying in the beginning that Malone is a Christian university. And how does that play out? What does that mean? It is not church. We are an academic institution. We do offer, obviously, bachelor degrees in a wide variety of subject matters. And everything from, I mentioned a couple, criminal restorative justice, creative writing, zoo and wildlife biology. We do have a pre-med program. We offer 50 different majors to choose from. A couple of those are faith-based majors. We have a Bible and theology major. We have a number of other areas that would pull in our Bible Theo department as well. But outside of the academics, we have a lot of activities surrounding our what we call spiritual formation here at Malone. And it certainly isn't a classroom. We talk a lot about faith integration. So faith and learning, what does it mean to be a Christian in the field of psychology? What does it mean to be a Christian going into education? And so those are conversations and dialogues that are that happen in the classroom. And it's a great thing about Christian higher education that you can bring your faith into what you're doing and learning about and your future career. Outside the classroom, again, it carries over. We have spiritual formation opportunities here at Malone. And that is Here's some examples of them. We have community worship every Wednesday from 10 to 11, and that is similar to a church service. I would say a contemporary church service. And there's a time of singing. There's a speaker. It could be our director of spiritual formation. It could be somebody from off campus, or a professor or somebody else here on campus. So we try to have it mix it up as much as we can so that we can reach students kind of where they are. So because we are a Christian university and because we draw so many students from so many different backgrounds, we try to reflect that in our community worship services. So regardless of what denomination students are coming from, they would feel like some of the services are very much like what they're used to experiencing growing up. So community worship would be your traditional contemporary church service. And again, it's for the student body. Faculty and staff are welcome to join too. We have a couple of other types of opportunities for students to choose from too. Life groups would be like small group Bible studies. You can see here's a picture of 6, 7 people just getting together and meeting. And then we also have kind of a medium-sized session called I Can Relate. And these tend to, so students vote on issues to discuss. So they tend to be different each year and probably even some different semesters. Celebration is a Thursday night worship service that is student-led completely. Coordinating the speakers is all from our students. There are actually over 300 spiritual formation opportunities every semester to choose from. And so we do try to reflect our student body and have as many different types of spiritual formation opportunities for them to select. As a Christian university, we do require 15 SFOs a semester for students to complete. They simply will swipe their card when they leave the sessions, and if it's a small group Bible study, the leader just swipes their ID cards. But that's a big part of our community. There's not grades. There's no tests. It's really just a time to gather, to pause. And again, one of our goals here at Malone is to not only encourage students in their academic pursuits, but also to encourage them to grow in their personal faith as well. So spiritual formation opportunities are wonderful times for students during their college years. Value and affordability. So clearly in this day and age, 2020, 2021 here coming soon, college is an investment, and we recognize that. We realize it's an investment in your future. We also think it's a very important investment and a worthwhile investment. It's probably one of the biggest decisions that you are embarking on in your life to date. There will certainly be others, buying homes and marriage and kids and all of that, career. But right now, we want to work with students and their families. We work hard to try to make Malone affordable. We work hard to help you see the value in Malone education, and we don't feel like we have to work that hard because we feel it's pretty apparent that it is a very valuable choice, a very valuable experience during the 4 years here. But we do want to make sure that it's affordable for each student. What we don't want to hear is that I can't come to Malone because I can't afford it. So our financial aid office is fantastic. They will work with you, get to know them, let them get to know you. If there are situations that are not apparent in the documents that you present your FAFSA, that's completely okay. Talk with them about them. We have special circumstances, and again, we will work with you. So our financial aid awards and our personal and personalized student experience will not be matched by a state institution. So you will find many students too that after they apply and get their financial aid package, we are in the ballpark, if not well in the game and maybe ahead of the game of some of our state schools. There's significant academic scholarships. So those of you who are on here and are maybe not seniors, you can still impact your overall academic experience in high school. It's important. So work hard, do your very best in school. One of the things that will impact your financial aid, at least at Malone, and I would guess at many other schools, is your grades. And if you are taking the ACT or SATs, that will only help you do well on those too. So do your best. We do have on our website, there is a financial aid website, of course, and there is a grid that at any time you can go and look and see, okay, what are my options for academic scholarships at Malone? What are some of the other scholarships that I have available at Malone to help me afford an education there? Also, seniors excuse me, you should be even now looking at outside scholarships. So talk to your school counselors, talk to community leaders as to what other scholarships are maybe even available in your own community. There are scholarships out there. I'll throw a pitch for one website that you can check out, and that's fastweb.com. That will have an opportunity for you to go on and find out what sort of scholarships you might be eligible for that you don't know about yet. So do your homework. If it takes you 20 minutes to fill out an application for a scholarship, it's well worth it if you get it, because if you get a couple $100, that's a pretty good return on your time invested in that scholarship application. So do the work, get it done, and it will pay off. And you will find that higher education is affordable, and certainly a private education is affordable, and ask questions, we'll work with you. Just to help along with this is to give you an idea. Last year, our average total aid per student was $31,629. That does include merit-based scholarships and need-based scholarships and grants. So it does include all of the federal state aid, but grants and scholarships. So we, again, will work hard to make it affordable. And just to give you an idea, that's on a cost of around $40,000-ish dollars for tuition, room, and board. So we do work hard to make it affordable. Again, the ultimate investment in your future is a Malone education, and we will work hard to help you get that. Pendle Hill Pledge. So we talked about welcoming, mentoring, and serving. And the Pendle Hill Pledge is a new program here at Malone. It's not necessarily in part new. We've had all the different pieces here at Malone for some time, but we have pulled together all of the parts into one initiative called the Pendle Hill Pledge. It's commitment to your vocation through mentoring, experiential learning, and career support across the curriculum. A little quick story. You can see this image of a gentleman holding out his hands on top of a mountain or hill. And behind you, behind the logo there, you'll see a green grassy hill. That is actually Pendle Hill in England, and it really is a place. And so a real quick story, we at Malone, our founders are Walter and Emma Malone, and they are also our background is Evangelical Friends, which comes out of the Quaker movement. So there's a gentleman by the name of George Fox, and George Fox is the founder, or the first of the Quakers. He started the Quaker movement, and it started actually on Pendle Hill. So he was a young man in his 20s, as I understand the story, and he was concerned, frustrated at that point in life of what am I supposed to do with my life? And so he took his backpack, knapsack, whatever they did back in the 1600s, and took a journey, took a walk, climbed Pendle Hill, and had some quiet time, praying, reflection, and felt like at that point that he actually had a vision of himself preaching, and felt that that was the Lord's calling on his life. And from that point on, started working toward the ministry, and from that became the Quaker movement. And many years later, Evangelical Friends came into existence, and Walter and Emma Malone started Malone University. So that's the background of Pendle Hill, and we kind of are borrowing that story because our hope and our prayer is that students at Malone will also have their own Pendle Hill moment, and maybe their own Pendle Hill moments of discovering God's calling on their life. Maybe in the academic area, it will likely be that during their time here, but it may also be even in other areas, in their other interests, just extracurricular activities. But we hope students will have many, many moments, Pendle Hill moments during their 4 years here, and we will work with them, walk alongside them through mentorship, as early even as through the admissions process. And then once they're here, they're given a mentor, upperclassmen mentoring, underclassmen, faculty mentoring their own students in their classrooms, and then specific, obviously, advisors as well. So really across campus, not just one person working with a student, but multiple people, really everybody. And having students have a lot of hands-on experiential learning opportunities. It's really required. So you cannot graduate from Malone without having some sort of experiential learning program. And also throughout the curriculum, career support. So when you graduate, we want to make sure that you are skilled and ready to be launched, to get a job, to go into grad school, to make a difference in the world. So you'll be hearing, as you look at Malone over the next months or years, depending upon what year you are, that you'll be hearing about Pendle Hill Pledge. And there's actually a service for freshmen when they arrive that we offer, so that students have the ability to learn more about Pendle Hill Pledge. And when they graduate, there's a ceremony kind of launching them out into the world, having had their Pendle Hill moment. So pretty excited about it. It's been a great kickoff this year of the actual initiative, and students are engaged, faculty and staff are engaged. So it's been a really good thing. Again, a little bit more opportunities for discovery, advising and mentoring, meetings every semester one-on-one with professors, and it goes way beyond that. Hands-on learning, required internship, professors help to place you, and professional development, career fairs, and off-campus events. So Pendle Hill. Just the facts. Wanted to just throw in some tidbits about Malone. Founded in 1892, and I already mentioned that our founders are Walter and Emma Malone. They started it out up in Cleveland, Ohio, actually, and moved down to Canton in the 50s because of some construction. I think it was the highway system going through at the moment. Our enrollment back then was 6 students, the first class at Malone, and we have grown to 1,500 students. So it's a nice sized campus, not huge, but we are large enough that you will, there's always somebody else new to meet, but you can't walk across campus without running into somebody that you know. So it's a really nice size community. Undergraduate programs, we have 58 majors and programs. Again, that would include pre-professional programs like pre-vet, pre-med, pre-law, pre-dental, that sort of thing. And we have 38 minors, everything from Spanish to sociology. And at Malone, it is very easy to get a major and a minor. In fact, many students, it just kind of happens for them. Certainly you can be intentional about it. And some majors you can actually relatively easily double major. It just really depends. But again, we want students to make the most of their 4 years and get as much out of their experience as they can, academically and co-curricularly. Graduate programs, if you decide to stick around for a while and stay for your graduate program, we have 8 graduate programs in business, in nursing, and counseling. So a couple of different areas if you wanted to continue that. Next steps. So you may be sitting out there and a senior in high school, you may be a junior, you may be actually a sophomore or freshman. Good for you if you are. So let me just start talking a bit about what juniors should be doing. We have, and actually this is kind of part of our Pendle Hill program too, we have a program here, it's an assessment called Pathway U. And if you are interested in getting started even now and discovering maybe some of your strengths and weaknesses and interests as far as what jobs, what careers might be ones to start thinking about, I would encourage you to go in and take the Pathway U assessment. It's not a test, it's really just a kind of some fun questions that they ask you, that you're asked. It's all online, it's free, and it will, at the end of about 20 minutes, it will share with you, based on how you answered questions, what your skill set is, what your strengths and weaknesses are, and how that would fit into particular careers, and actually identify some majors that would work well for you to look into and to consider to help you get into those career paths. So strongly recommended if you are waffling as to not really knowing what you want to go into yet, it's a really good way to get started. And if you're sure that you know what you want to do, it's also not a bad idea to take it either, so that that can be a very affirming time to do that and to find out what that is what you're supposed to be doing, or maybe be surprised and see, oh, well, maybe it's not as high as I thought it should be, and maybe I should consider something else. So check it out, malone.pathwayu.com. Again, it's free, 20 minutes, really gives you some good insights into yourself. Make a list of colleges that have your major and any programs of interest, sports clubs and organizations. So that's something very good to be doing during your junior year. Visit. I know it's 2020 and it's been like 2020 like we've never expected it to be, but many schools, I'd say all schools, are offering at least virtual visits right now, and many schools are opening up and offering campus visits. I know on campus here at Malone, we are welcoming individual visits. We're not quite there with group visits yet, but one-on-one, happy to have you and encourage you to come and schedule a visit, www.malone.edu/visit. Select one of our options. Again, we're happy to meet with you virtually, but we are also very happy to have you come to campus. We just ask that you schedule so that we can make sure that we have a safe environment, not too many people on one day and all of that. So take the SAT or ACT to boost your scholarship potential. I should mention at this point, and maybe we'll mention here too, that Malone this year has officially gone test optional. So you'll need to know whether you're going to be choosing to take the SAT or ACT. It may make a difference in your scholarship, it may not. There's scholarship opportunities both ways. But it's not a bad thing to take the SAT and ACT, whether you decide to use them for your admissions process or not. Good to have them in your back pocket if needed. So junior year is a great time to start signing up for those and taking those. Seniors, if you are out there as a senior, it's a good time to be applying. But I would also say also really good for you to be taking that assessment through the Pathway U. So we have that there. But now is the time. I know right now, if you are out here, we're doing a large push for November 6th, which is this Friday. If you are applying to colleges, include Malone, and if you apply by the 6th, there is a possibility that you will be receiving a $1,000 early application scholarship. We are going to be selecting 10 of those folks who have recently applied and offering them an additional $1,000 scholarship. So apply by the 6th, you'll be entered into that drawing. Also, the other thing is if you apply by the 6th and we get your high school transcripts and test scores, if you're going to be going the regular pathway of applying, or if you're going test optional, either way, once we get all of your documentation, application and supporting documents, we will notify you ideally before Thanksgiving. So if we have your application by the 6th and within a week we receive the other supporting documents, we can let you know an admissions decision before the Thanksgiving holiday. So if you're getting together with family and friends this year, which I hope some of you are able to do, then you'll be able to share with them that you are admitted to Malone. So that would be great. But we would encourage you to get it out of your hair into ours so that you don't have to go into the holiday season still needing to fill out your application. So please do take advantage of, you could do it Friday night and just get it done with so that it's in. Or take an evening. It'll take you all of about 15 or 20 minutes to fill out the application. We do accept either the applications, the Common App or our own Malone application, your choice. Send us your high school transcripts, fill out the FAFSA. You can do that even now. October 1st it opens, so we are receiving those. Apply for additional scholarships, which we did just talk about a little bit. Getting admitted, here it is. We have our application deadline of, it's not a deadline. We will accept applications after the 6th, but it will allow us to get you an answer by Thanksgiving break if you apply by the 6th. High school transcripts, if you're taking college courses currently through dual enrollment or College Credit Plus, we need your high school transcripts and your college transcripts. And then if you are planning on taking it, the ACT or SAT, send those to us. We do super score here at Malone, but you can also apply test optional, completely your choice. That is my official presentation. So I will stop sharing my screen and see if there are any questions that maybe I can answer for you. Let's see here. I'll just address
Just put this up. You could keep answering questions.
Oh, sure. Thanks. I would just follow up on one question, and that would be about residence life. We have a number of options for students on campus. The majority of our campus are residential students. Certainly, if they're local, they can choose to live on campus or commute. But we have some great facilities here. Students can choose, most of our students choose to live in residence hall with a roommate, but there are options to have single dorms. So that's fine. We certainly have food services on campus. The residence halls are very nice. You can go on our website and check out some photos of our resident halls. But I highly recommend, if at all possible, for students when they are looking at Malone to be a resident student and take advantage of all of the opportunities that come by being on campus. It just is a really wonderful opportunity to build relationships. Again, commuters, get involved. That would be my recommendation to you if you're planning on commuting. Even if you don't have that resident life experience, you can get involved just as much and find some friends who live in the dorms and hang out with them so you can kind of live vicariously through them as well. Again, I would just reemphasize, we are doing an application push for November 6th, this Friday. Not to worry if you don't meet that early deadline, it's not a problem. We will be certainly accepting applications. We have a priority deadline of February 1st. Again, trying to get students to get them done early so that we can get financial aid packages done. And then come May 1st is the national deadline of notifying schools that you are coming to their school. There'd be an enrollment deposit that you would need to make at that point. At Malone, it's $200 that secures your spot. But by getting your application in early, you have plenty of time to get your financial aid packages, to seek SAGE counsel, and make that important decision as to where it is that you should be going to college. It's an exciting time in life. Ask good questions. Do come visit. We would love to have you visit, and we have a number of virtual events, but we also love to have kids, students, and parents on campus when it's convenient for you. So simply reach out to us, www.malone.edu/visit. And when you're ready to submit that application, it's www.malone.edu/apply. And with that, I think I will say thank you so much for joining us, and have a great evening.
Thank you so much. And to our attendees, again, thank you for joining us. If you do have any questions, we still have about 4 minutes left, so feel free to put them in the chat. If not, feel free to close the session. And when you leave, there will be a link to a very quick 4-question survey. We'd appreciate any feedback that you can provide, as we're always looking to make improvements on these events. And like I mentioned at the beginning, this was just one of many sessions being hosted today, so be sure to sign up for additional ones at oacac.org. And in about a week, you'll be able to find this session's recording as well as other session recordings at that same website, oacac.org. Thank you so much, and I'll leave another minute or so for questions. All righty, so our one attendee did head out.
Yeah, I
so
saw that.
I'm just gonna go ahead and end the session. Thank you so much for joining us again, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thanks, you too. Bye-bye.